Hey guys, James Lynch here doing a quick reaction video to Israel Adesanya winning the UFC interim middleweight title last night at UFC 236 over Kelvin Gastelum. And what a fight this was. One of the best title fights I think I've ever seen. One of the fights of the year for sure, especially those fourth and fifth rounds. But let's talk about that fourth round with Kelvin Gastelum. It looked like he had Israel. It looked like he had this in the bag. And instead of keeping the fight standing, he went for that takedown. I think that was a mistake. And clearly Israel was able to capitalize in that fifth round, getting some good shots, dropping Kelvin a couple times in this one, and just a great performance here by the style bender. And I hope this puts to rest any talk of Israel Adesanya being overrated. I mean, he's got heart. You saw his face after the fight. He took some of Kelvin's best shots and he was able to still persevere and get through with the victory. And Kelvin Gastelum, what can you say about this guy? Again, you know, he has been overlooked a lot in his career, and he certainly put on a good performance here. And I think he was inches away from winning the title himself. Got a lot of power and didn't really have a lot of wear and tear after the fight was over. It just goes to show you how durable this guy is as well. But just a great fight. I think this exceeded expectations. I knew we thought this was going to be a good fight on paper, but these two showing the amount of heart that they did, especially in those later rounds, I think really showed how great both of these fighters are. And now we're gonna have Israel Adesanya facing Robert Whittaker to unify the titles at some point later this year. That's going to be a huge fight. I mean, out here in Canada and North America, I don't know how big it's going to be out, you know, in New Zealand and Australia, but certainly I imagine it's going to be pretty big. You know, Whittaker's looked pretty dominant in a lot of his fights. I know he's had some close calls with Yoel Romero, but still very excited for that fight between Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya when that does happen. And I love the post-fight, you know, speech by Israel Adesanya as well. You know, talking about his coach, dedicating the win to him, talking about his Nigerian roots. The whole thing was just great. I really thought Israel came across so well in this matchup. And again, there are people heading into this fight, or that we're heading into this fight, calling this guy overrated. I hope this has put this to bed. I know people weren't happy with the performance against Anderson Silva, but that was a huge win for him last night over Kelvin Gastelum. Again, I don't think there was any question that he won that fight. Really putting it on Kelvin, and like I said, dropping him a couple times in the matchup. I thought that was super impressive. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Where do you rank this as far as title fights? Where do you rank this as fight of the year? What did you think is Israel's performance, and how do you like his chances against Robert Whittaker? I know there's a lot of questions there, but there's a lot to talk about in this fight. So let me know below. Follow me on Twitter at Lynch on Sports, and on Instagram on the same handle, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Lynch on Sports. Thanks for watching.